Come on, work with this nigga. You dead.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Thank you. Now he's standing there like a puncher. We'll go in there.
Gang back, Jack. Gang to the back. Oh my God.
What you guess, and I'm guilty of it. I guessed that T.O. would not be able to outbox Shakur. But right there, he was outboxing. Shakur Stevenson was doing what Tank Davis said.
You never see him slip no punch. You see him back up from a lot of people. Back up, move around.
He's backing up with full steps back. Roy Jones Jr. said the same thing. Instead of taking a full step back, take a half step back. You can be in range to counter. Terrence Crawford told him the same thing. Taylor Santos was doing something very similar, but he's not the boxer that T.O. is. Feint, Shakur goes back. Then he put that arm out there for a feint. Shakur stays at the distance, right at the body. Shakur is either out of distance or right where T.O. can land.
Shakur Stevenson just got exposed in sparring, and experts say TEOFIMO Lopez has the upper hand. Here's the shocking truth. Heading into the fight, Shakur Stevenson is turning up the heat harder than ever in his training camp. New footage shows him doing intense sprints to boost his conditioning against a fighter as explosive as TEOFIMO Lopez. He's pushing himself to maximize every ounce of explosiveness needed for the fight, and he's confident, saying he's more ready than ever to face the very best version of TEOFIMO Lopez.
Get out of there, get out of there, get out of there. There we go. Flat 15, all the way down.
This nigga tweaking today.
Man, that's that prep. That's what you already been doing?
Yeah.
They got it.
Good.
That's good.
I feel great. Sprints kind of be getting me right, get my conditioning right. Sometimes in a fight could turn into a sprint. Cause it's like, niggas start the pace fast as hell and then they can't keep up the pace, but the sprints will kind of get you in shape to where once you break down, sometimes you get a second win, then you get another win, then you get another win at the.
But amid this wave of training sessions Shakur is sharing, fans are starting to notice things that aren't being shown. His partner, Keyshawn Davis, claims Shakur is already focused and lightning fast, but his trainer, Wally Moses, believes there's still more work to be done. He notices Shakur not fully syncing with the rhythm and trying to confuse his sparring partners. At one point, he even seems to step back from the ring, as if lacking the full motivation or courage to fight.
Ready, bro. Firing all cylinders. Your action time there, speed there. It's focused. That's what got him ready. It's focused.
Good. No. Hold your pull. Good. Good. Stay in your rhythm, champ. Stay in your rhythm. Your rhythm, your time, your fight. Let's go.
You trying hard? Good try. It's effort.
And that flaw is exactly what everyone is noticing. Showbiz the Adult points out that Shakur Stevenson isn't fully following the guidance he's received from Terrence Crawford. He breaks down the leaked sparring session with TEOFIMO Lopez, highlighting the mistakes Shakur is making. According to Showbiz, TEOFIMO was keeping him just out of range to counter, and when TEOFIMO landed shots, Shakur took a full step back, something he shouldn't do. Instead, he should take only a half step back to stay in range and counter, but he keeps overcommitting.
Looking at that sparring session was great because it surpasses what you guess, and I'm guilty of it. I guessed that T.O. would not be able to outbox Shakur, but right there he was outboxing. Shakur Stevenson was doing what Tank Davis said.
You never see him slip no punch. You see him back up from a lot of people. Back up, move around.
He's backing up with full steps back. Roy Jones Jr. said the same thing. Instead of taking a full step back, take a half step back. You can be in range to counter. Terrence Crawford told him the same thing. When T.O. was feigning, Shakur was taking full steps back.
Meanwhile, Teofimo Lopez has already learned from that sparring session, and his reaction adds another intriguing layer to Shakur Stevenson's technical flaws. Teofimo claims that in sparring, he figured out Shakur's jab and realized all he needs to do is handle it. Once you get past the jab, fighting Shakur is like eating your lunch. He's openly criticizing Stevenson, aiming to expose his weaknesses, and making one thing very clear: he's coming to teach Shakur a lesson in the ring.
You know, Shakur is a very talented, skillful, technique fighter.
Yeah.
You know, can't take anything away from it. However, scared to get hit. Scared to get knocked out in front of the world. Scared to get touched up in front of the world.
Are you saying that off of the last fight or just
in general?
In general.
In general.
Yeah.
In general. Me and Shakur sparred before. We did 3 rounds, and it was just light work. And me trying to figure out his jab. Does he have a good jab? Yeah, he does. But once you pass it, once you pass his jab, it's game.
Yeah.
It's food. It's lunch food.
On the other hand, Shakur Stevenson has fired back at Teofimo's claims, asserting that 3 rounds of sparring don't reveal how good a fighter truly is. He also claims that Teofimo Lopez barely landed any clean shots during those sessions. He said, "He has not been in there with me to know how good I am. Sparring is not going to tell. We did 3 rounds. He could barely hit me then. He can't tell whether I am good or not until he comes on January 31st. But Showbiz, the adult's breakdown of that sparring, has shifted the entire perspective. He references Gervonta Davis's earlier claims about Shakur's flaws, noting that Shakur keeps losing his range by stepping too far back, while Teofimo clearly maintained his range while defending himself. This reinforces Teofimo's claim that Shakur's defense is overhyped. Showbiz believes Shakur's may have tried to adjust in training, but on fight night, these changes could actually backfire.
Losing real estate, but on top of that, Teo was also finding his range. When Teo defended himself, he didn't take much of a step back, not much. He kept himself in range, where Shakur backed out of range. This is just what I saw. He may have changed it, of course.
At the same time, new details from leaked sparring sessions between Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez are beginning to surface, offering fans a revealing preview of how this matchup could unfold. Showbiz the Adult dissects the footage, pointing out how Teofimo smartly controlled the distance and dictated the pace, never allowing Shakur to settle. Each time Stevenson attempted to step in, Teofimo forced him backward, breaking his rhythm. The breakdown suggests a troubling pattern, one that could limit Shakur's ability to counter and allow Teofimo to impose his game plan.
Now watch this. Shakur is at the range Teo wants him to be right there. So Teo wants him to stay there. So he keeps the jab flicking, right? He keeps the jab flicking. Shakur doesn't really want to get hit with much. So Shakur is trying to find a way to get in. And then whoop, whoop, just doing that, see, his jab, he couldn't get a counter off. Just doing that pushes Shakur all the way back. And then Teo is able to sit there and box, shoot the jab. De Los Santos was doing something very similar, but he's not the boxer that Teo is. Feint, Shakur goes back. Then he put that arm out there for a feint. Shakur stays at the distance, right at the body. Shakur is either out of distance or right where Teo can land. This may be too much game, but it's true.
Breaking down the sparring footage, Showbiz the Adult sees Teofimo Lopez consistently gaining the upper hand over Shakur Stevenson. He points to Teofimo's ability to control distance as a major weapon, either keeping Shakur on the outside or pulling him into the exact range Teofimo wants. Showbiz believes this is a crucial advantage, one that opens up real opportunities for Teofimo to capitalize and potentially hand Shakur Stevenson a loss.
Now look, you try to step and you now a jab right there. You take a half step back. Then he keeps him there. See? Feint, bam, body shot. So Shakur's either too far away or right where Teo wants him to be.
Adding another layer to the discussion, Sean Porter shares insider insight from his own sparring sessions with Shakur Stevenson, outlining a possible roadmap for Teofimo Lopez to secure a win. Porter explains that while Shakur fights at a controlled, measured pace to conserve energy, he still pushed him to the limit. His ability to read opponents through subtle cues is dangerous, but Porter believes that recognizing those patterns could give Teofimo the edge to exploit Shakur's style and take control of the fight.
He fights with a slower pace, so it's easier to manage, you know, the energy and things of that nature through the course of the 5 or 6 rounds that we did. And he asked me to go one more with him. And the coach that was in my corner was like, he's like, "You ain't going another one, is you?" And I was like, I didn't answer him. So like, he knew, like, I'm struggling, you know? He said, "You ain't got to do it, champ. You don't need to go one more." And I was like, I got to do it. He said, "I wouldn't go one more." I was like, I got to, And so we pushed out one more round, but man, it was good. And my main thing was Shakur, just like we're getting in the ring with Conor Ben over here. I want to see how fast. I want to see your eyes. I want to see how much you're actually thinking and calculating. I want to see your rhythm.
Meanwhile, things on Teofimo Lopez's side aren't calm either. He views this matchup as one where momentum is everything, believing he must seize control early instead of allowing the fight to become a slow, technical chess match. Teofimo knows that trying to outbox Shakur cleanly would play directly into Stevenson's strengths, so his plan is to make the fight uncomfortable, messy, and unpredictable, doing whatever it takes to disrupt Shakur's rhythm.
How I see this fight being played out is with me pretty much setting that momentum for the people out there as well. Not really trying to force for it. However, I can't be too technical with Shakur. You got to make it a little ugly. You got to make it a little ugly. If you try to be too technical with Shakur, it could be too long of a weighted chess match. Certain people don't want to see that. They don't want to see pop shots. You know what I mean? They want to see good action.
Lopez also strongly rejects the idea that Shakur Stevenson is defensively unbeatable. While many label Shakur as one of boxing's elite defensive fighters, Teofimo believes that reputation is overrated. He insists he's already identified clear flaws in Stevenson's game and is eager to expose them when they finally collide, confident that Fight Night will reveal just how vulnerable those weaknesses really are.
I don't think, for me, I don't see Shakur having the best defense in boxing. However, others can attest that. So, I just can't wait to really show the flaws that I see in Shakur Stevenson and, really putting that to the test when that time comes.
Responding to Shakur Stevenson's claim that he plans to show his power, Teofimo Lopez shifts the focus back to what he sees as Stevenson's weaknesses. Teofimo says he's studied Shakur closely, from his days at lightweight to his most recent performances, and remains unimpressed. In his view, Stevenson lacks true speed and isn't the threat many believe. Lopez is convinced that once they meet in the ring, those flaws will be exposed and the reality will fall far short of the hype surrounding Shakur.
What do you think about, and I heard an interview that he had done recently where he talked about people are going to see my power. They talk a lot about my defense, but they're going to see my power in this fight against Teofimo.
Shakur is slow. He's slow. I seen him at lightweight. I seen only highlights of his last fight with Cepeda, and he's slow. He's really slow. There's nothing more to it than that. So I think that with everybody that he's seeing and from his group and from those that have been, killing the game, honestly, like Terrence Crawford, which he calls and refers to as Big Bro. I think that the whole thing of that nature, I think that's really what's keeping him wanting to aim for bigger and better fights and for better opposition.
No matter what happens, this fight has already built massive momentum and anticipation. As the debate intensifies, Shakur Stevenson's weaknesses are coming under the spotlight. Despite his reputation for a high boxing IQ and strong defense, critics point to his slower pace and lack of true power punches. Even Ryan Garcia has weighed in, calling Shakur's hype overblown. Garcia noted that Stevenson has never faced a fighter at this level, pointing to moments where William Zepeda repeatedly landed shots while Shakur struggled to evade or respond, exposing noticeable cracks in his style.
Speaking of Shakur, power punchers don't highlight his skills. The guy that throws volume highlights it because he could just fade him off and crack him. Bro, that guy is not that. Bro, they hype that up like, oh yeah, he can stand in the pocket now. He's standing in the pocket because there's no danger. Like, if you really know boxing, Cepeda doesn't have no danger in the shot. Bro, if I fought Cepeda, I would let him throw a punch. I would dodge with my shoulder and just crack him one time hard. You could just let him throw, wait for a good shot. Boom, that's what he was doing. Wait.
So who you think, like a power puncher like Tank, he will have trouble against?
He'll probably beat Tank because Tank's not like necessarily a sharpshooter. It's different. Which if he hits you because he's so accurate, he's gonna drop you or could put you to sleep. But like not necessarily power punch. Like Edwin De Los Santos is a hard hitter. He would even have a hard time of rolling. I'm not even kidding.
Shakur Stevenson's style has long drawn inspiration from Floyd Mayweather, built around staying in the pocket and relying heavily on defense. However, Ryan Garcia believes that approach could be a mistake against Teofimo Lopez. Pointing to Stevenson's fight with William Zepeda, Garcia notes that Shakur often remains in the pocket longer than necessary and falls back on defense when he should be pressing the action. Against an explosive fighter like Teofimo, Garcia warns that this strategy may backfire, and Stevenson will quickly feel the difference once he's in the ring with Lopez.
Bro, I'm dead. Bro, you don't understand. But like, get in there. You feel his hands. He's gonna put you on edge. When Shakur's on edge, he don't look that good. His skills that you see with a Sabetta won't come out. Like, he can't just sit in the pocket like a Floyd, what Floyd does. Like, he has to be moving. There's a big difference, and it's not gonna look good.
Then comes Gervonta Tank Davis with a blunt reality check on Shakur Stevenson's style. Looking ahead to the matchup, Tank believes Teofimo Lopez presents a nightmare challenge for Stevenson, making it clear this will be anything but an easy fight. He criticizes Shakur for lacking power and true aggression, arguing that the image of him as a defensive master is misleading. According to Davis, Stevenson simply moves forward and backward without real technique, flaws that Teofimo is well equipped to expose.
6-7 more fights and I'm naming names. One of the guys, obviously, you and Shakur got into it on Twitter. You was like, you wanted them 6 or 7.
Yeah, he's definitely one of them.
For sure?
Yeah, he's definitely one of them.
Do you think that's gonna be your hardest fight?
Hell no.
Nah?
Wow.
Cause he a good boxer, nigga. Like, that's when I look at y'all two as the best in the division.
How? Show me something that he did spectacular. Show me something that he did outrageous. Show me.
Right,
his power not outrageous.
Okay.
What defense?
You don't think he got defense?
He just jumped back. You never see him slip no punch. You never see him slip no punch. Go look at it. You see him back up from a lot of people. Back up, move around. He don't got no technique. And his offense is the same thing. Go look at his fights.
So you
I
feel
probably
like
put him on game. Yeah,
but you feel like it's easy work though. You like,
come on, bro.
Going even further, Tank Davis labeled Shakur's offense as non-existent, revealing that during sparring with 6-ounce gloves, he tagged Stevenson and watched him immediately back away. To Tank, this only reinforces the idea that Shakur's skill set is overhyped and vulnerable to exploitation by Teofimo Lopez. He even challenged Shakur to run it back with Edwin de los Santos, claiming Stevenson would never accept if he truly believed he was the best. Against Teofimo, Tank warns, the danger for Shakur only increases.
Well, I touched him with 16-ounce gloves on, and he ran. Imagine if I hit him with 8-ounce. The guy is here too.
Who? What guy?
The one that
was there?
No, the one that he sparred.
Oh,
I mean, the one that he fought.
Oh, Edwin. Yeah, you seen him. Yeah, I seen Edwin. Yeah, I saw Edwin in here.
Tell him rematch that guy. Now, if he beat him, then
they go.
We can get him.
Okay.
I guarantee you won't fight that guy again.
Oh, Edwin.
Yeah, I guarantee.
Showbiz the Adult has noticed this as well. Highlighting Gervonta Davis's take, he points out that while Shakur Stevenson's defense is often praised, it's not as flawless as many believe. Looking ahead to Stevenson's matchup with Teofimo Lopez, Showbiz notes that Teofimo clearly holds the upper hand. Comparing their styles, he describes it as water versus rock. Stevenson is rigid, while Teofimo is elusive, versatile, and adaptable, giving him a distinct advantage in the ring.
Gervonta Tank Davis may just have a point. Saying Shakur Stevenson's defense is just not that good. He's a technical fighter, but he's not as slick as people are saying. Which reminds me of yesterday, I had the Taco Tuesday Showbiz the Morning podcast, where I said that water beats rock. And in this fight with Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson, there's water versus water. But I said Teofimo Lopez is more water than Shakur. Almost every time, water beats rock. You have water versus water here. But I feel that Teo is more water than Shakur.
Building on Gervonta Davis' comments, Showbiz, the Adult argues that Shakur Stevenson's habit of constantly backing up could hand Teofimo Lopez a significant advantage. Stevenson is undeniably skilled with the tools and technique to compete at the highest level. Still, Showbiz believes Teofimo's clever feints and tactical approach could disrupt Stevenson's rhythm, exploit his weaknesses, and ultimately allow Lopez to take control and emerge on top.
He's Teofimo Lopez! So, Shakur Stevenson, the fantastic fighter he is, and he has all of the elements and the technique and the style to be a nightmare for Teofimo Lopez. But Teofimo Lopez, what can he do to defeat Shakur Stevenson January 31st? Well, going back to what Gervonta Tank Davis said about Shakur Stevenson just backing up.
He just jumped back. You never see him slip no punch. You never see him slip no punch. Go look at it. You see him back up from a lot of people.
Well, Teofimo Lopez, he can use that to his advantage. The ring is only so big. You can
Outlining his plan for Teofimo Lopez, Showbiz the adult believes that with his speed and power, Teofimo can use feints to make Shakur Stevenson retreat, then strike with sudden, explosive bursts. In Showbiz's view, Lopez thrives by controlling distance, using his athleticism and movement to create openings, pressure opponents against the ropes, and take advantage of unpredictability. Stevenson will have to stay alert. Underestimating this strategy could prove costly on fight night.
Teofimo Lopez, the high IQ fighter he is, with the great experience he has and the skill set and the footwork and the athleticism, with his fast hands and dangerous power, he can feint Shakur Stevenson into backing up and shrinking his real estate, because Teofimo Lopez is going to want the fight to be closer than further. And that's precisely how he does that. With his hand speed and his power being something that Shakur Stevenson has to worry about, and with Shakur Stevenson being defensive-minded first, Teofimo Lopez can feint, and Shakur Stevenson is going to naturally take that full step to half step back, shrinking his real estate.
So there you have it. Shakur Stevenson's skills are undeniable, but Teofimo Lopez, speed, power, and tactical smarts could turn the tide. Every sparring session, every expert opinion points to one thing. This fight is shaping up to be explosive and unpredictable. What do you think? Can Shakur adjust and prove everyone wrong? Or will Teofimo dominate as the experts predict? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button, and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the breakdowns leading up to fight night.